Hexagram 47. Oppression. Hexagram 47, also known as oppression or confined. This hexagram reflects a situation of being hemmed in, entrapped, or cut off. Here are the key aspects. Judgment. Oppression means that successful progress is still possible. The perseverance of a truly great person brings good fortune without error. However, relying solely on words won't convince others. Image. Imagine a marsh without water, an abyss beneath the surface. The superior person sacrifices their life to attain their purpose. Lines. Line 2. Sacrifice and persistence. The great person persists despite adversity. Line 5. Words not trusted. Even if one speaks, confidence is lacking. Once upon a time, in the mystical land of Dragonvale, Zoran the dragon found himself in a peculiar situation. You see, Zoran was a rather large and clumsy dragon, known for accidentally knocking over trees and tripping over his own tail. But today, something even more unusual was afoot. Zoran woke up to find himself trapped inside a giant bubble. Yes, you heard that right, a bubble. It was like a cosmic prank, and he wondered if the universe had mistaken him for a soap bubble enthusiast. His wings flapped frantically, but the bubble remained intact, floating gently above the treetops. Great, Zoran grumbled. I'm the world's first airborne dragon snow globe. Now, this bubble wasn't just any ordinary bubble. It was the bubble of oppression, created by the ancient sorcerer, Professor Puffernoodle. Professor Puffernoodle had a penchant for mischief, and he loved trapping unsuspecting creatures in bubbles just to see their reactions. He once turned a grumpy gnome into a bubble and watched it float away, cursing in tiny, soapy letters. Inside the bubble, Zoran felt confined. His fiery breath was useless against its iridescent walls. He tried to communicate with passing birds, but they just tweeted sympathetically and flew away. Even the squirrels pointed and giggled. Hey, Zoran, called a squirrel named Nutty McCatter. Bubble trouble, Zoran sighed. Nutty, do you know how to get out of this thing? Nutty scratched his tiny squirrel head. Well, and has it that only laughter can burst the bubble of oppression. You've got to find your inner chuckle, mate. Zoran raised an eyebrow, or at least he tried to. It's hard to convey skepticism when you're a dragon-shaped bubble. Laughter? Seriously? But Zoran was determined. He thought about the absurdity of his situation, the majestic dragon reduced to a floating bubble. And then he chuckled. It started as a tiny ripple, but soon it grew into a full-blown belly laugh. The bubble shimmered, wobbled, and popped, vanished into a puff of sparkles. Zoran tumbled out, wings flapping, and landed on a bed of dandelions. Nutty McCatter applauded from a nearby branch. Bravo, Zoran. You burst that bubble like a pro. Zoran grinned. Thanks, Nutty. But what's the lesson here? Nutty hopped down and sat cross-legged. Hexagram 47, my friend. It's all about endurance, resilience, and finding inner strength in tough times. Sometimes life traps us in bubbles, whether they're made of expectations, doubts, or literal soap. But laughter, my scaly buddy, is the ultimate escape spell. And so, Zoran the dragon became the official court jester of Dragonvale. His laughter echoed through the valleys, and even the grumpy gnomes cracked smiles. As for Professor Puffernoodle, he retired from bubble making and took up knitting instead. And that, my little fire breathers, is how Zoran learned that sometimes the best way to burst through life's challenges is with a hearty laugh and a touch of whimsy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Certainly. Let's delve deeper into Hexagram 47, also known as oppression or exhaustion in some translations, and explore the lessons learned from Zoran the dragon's bubbly adventure. Hexagram 47, oppression symbolism and image. The hexagram consists of the trigrams, lake, above water. Imagine a lake overflowing with water, pressing down on everything beneath it. Symbolically, it represents a situation where external forces or circumstances weigh heavily upon an individual, causing feelings of confinement, limitation, or oppression. Judgment. The judgment of Hexagram 47 emphasizes endurance and perseverance. It suggests that even in difficult times, one must remain steadfast and patient. It's like being trapped in a bubble, whether metaphorical or literal, where escape seems impossible. But remember, bubbles can burst. Line statements: changing lines. Hexagram 47 has 2 changing lines. Line 4. He is oppressed by creeping vines. He moves uncertainly and says, oppression. Perseverance brings success. This line advises patience and persistence. Sometimes progress is slow, like a vine creeping up a tree. Keep moving forward. Line 6. He is oppressed by thorns. He walks warily and wears armor. Perseverance brings good fortune. Here, the thorns represent obstacles. The lesson is to protect oneself and proceed cautiously. Perseverance leads to favorable outcomes. Lessons from Zoran's story: endurance and resilience. Zoran's predicament mirrors Hexagram 47. Trapped in the bubble of oppression, he didn't give up. Instead, he laughed, a powerful form of resilience. Life often throws unexpected challenges our way. Like Zoran, we must endure, find inner strength, and keep our spirits up. Laughter as liberation. Zoran's laughter burst the bubble. In life, laughter can break through mental and emotional barriers. When you feel trapped, find your inner chuckle. It's like a magical spell that lightens the load. Whimsy and perspective. Zoran's acceptance of the absurdity being a dragon in a bubble shows the importance of perspective. Sometimes, life's challenges are downright silly. Embrace whimsy, and you'll find creative solutions. So, my little adventurers, remember Hexagram 47. Oppression teaches us to endure, laugh, and see the world from different angles. And who knows, maybe you'll burst a few bubbles along the way. In summary, Hexagram 47 emphasizes persistence, sacrifice, and action over mere words. The answer lies beyond reason, and logic. Intuition plays a role. If you're facing confinement or adversity, consider turning inward and following what is right.